Another Brick Fan here with a Marvel Spider-Man Far From Home set. This is Stark Jet and the Drone Attack. This is set 76130, was released in April 2019, has 504 pieces, 4 minifigures, and cost about $70 when it was released. This is the jet scene in Spider-Man Far From Home, and I think it's really representative of the jet. The drones that come with this set are also really good looking and pretty accurate, although I think they were white in the movie and not black. So I'm not sure why they decided to change the color scheme on them, but overall I still think they look really good as drones. They have these nice little stud shooters on the front, and then some other pieces and parts here representing cameras or projectors or other little pieces of it. So nice little drones to use and create some play scenes with. I think a good design overall. We'll take a close look at the minifigures here in a minute. Let's take a closer look at the main build. As I mentioned in the opening, I think this looks very representative of the jet that is seen at the end of Far From Home when Happy comes over to help Peter out. This is really nice look. It's done with a few stickers. You see the Stark Industries sticker here in the back. The windows on the sides are all done with stickers as well. It's very white, so it's prone to picking up dust, which is okay, but just keep that in mind if you're going to display it for a long period of time. The front canopy here is nice and long and also printed, which is great. I've seen them try to do stickers on these in the past, and it's very difficult to get a sticker on a clear piece like that. Of course, the entire top opens up, which gives quite a bit of interior space, as you can see. So there's some good control panels up here in front. So there's a spot for someone to pilot the ship, someone to sit back here, and then someone to sit back in here, kind of in the dining or lab area perhaps. It's another sticker on a white tile right here that you can see in there. A couple of colored pieces here to represent some, I don't know, maybe drinks or perhaps they're just chemicals. But those look pretty nice. The back also opens. In the back there's some of these trans blue round bricks. There's just a 2x2 rounded brick with a tile on either end, an inverted tile and a regular rounded tile on top. So those are just, I don't know, power cells or whatever you want to imagine those to be, but there's a little cargo area back here. That's what it boils down to. There is an action feature inside here. So if you looked, there is a spider web or rope comes out here. So if we take Spider-Man, put him in, connect him to the rope, put him inside here, there's this button right here on the top. So if I'm flying the jet and I want to drop Spider-Man out, push the button and Spider-Man falls out from the bottom of the jet. We can land him down there like that. A nice little play feature within the jet itself. Taking a quick look at the bottom, you see there are a couple of repulsors in here. Here's a nice little feature. So there's a little ball joint kind of thing here with these trans blue pieces to represent perhaps propulsor lifts, and there's one on each side, giving it kind of adding another little feature to help stabilize the jet, maybe allow it to take off vertically. The wings have stud shooters on them, again with the trans blue pieces. The back is done very nicely. The engine here has a wheel rim here, then a cone piece, and then this nice dual molded flame piece in the trans blue to clear, which I like that piece a lot. The tail is made up of these two different sections with the traditional airplane tails here, and then another piece on friction hinges, so that those can be positioned in different ways. Overall, a very good looking jet. Just got to be careful getting all the stickers lined up just right, which isn't always easy. But I think it looks really good as a display piece, and it has a lot of interior space, which is great. You can easily fit 3 minifigures in here, and perhaps 4, and then a couple even in the back if you really wanted to. So plenty of space inside of the aircraft, and has a great look. As I mentioned in the beginning, there are 4 minifigures included with this set. They include Spider-Man, Mysterio, Nick Fury, and Happy Hogan. Nick Fury and Happy Hogan are exclusive to this set. So first up we have Spider-Man. He's in a darker blue here with this particular costume than you normally see him. I do like that darker blue color. The printing here of the web is slightly different than I've seen in some other Spider-Mans as well, with the kind of more rounded web design instead of the straight up and down hash for the web, which I think is pretty cool. He has dual molded legs here and a lot more black details, so like a little black around the waist here and on the tops of his boots and things. Nick Fury, of course, is in his black shield uniform here with a nice shield logo here on his jacket, which I think is a nice touch. Good printing down his legs that matches up quite well to the torso piece. He, of course, has this pistol weapon and then bald head, and he's got that nice eye patch piece here, which I think is very appropriate for Nick Fury. Moving to the side, you see there is some printing on the arms of Spider-Man. Once again, they are the dark blue arms, and then they have some red kind of webbed printing on the sides. And here in the back, we have some more of the web printing, this time with the vertical lines instead of the circular pattern we saw on the front. Dual molded legs, obvious here, we're looking at it from the back. Same kind of spider logo, but just like I said, the darker blue here in the back, which is a slightly different design. Nick Fury has the eye patch strap here printed in the back, which I think is a nice touch. And then a little bit of sculpting or detailing here for the back of his jacket. Once again, a little arm printing on Spider-Man, matches the other side. And then back around to the front. Next up we have Mysterio and Happy Hogan. This is the same Mysterio figure that we get in all 3 of the Far From Home sets. You can see there's a lot of really nice printing. He has these power bolts on his hands that will pop off to give you kind of an action feature. The printing on this is good in all of the different colors. So we have the dark green and then the gold and kind of pink accents and this nice soft pink cape here. I like the way the head was done with this kind of metallic minifigure head and then this clear dome piece that fits over the top, giving it that very mysterious look. The eyes that are on the front of his helmet are kind of represented here with the clasps of the cape. Not 100% accurate to the comic books, but I think accurate to the movie. And then some good printing on down the legs and on the knees and even down on the toes of the feet. Happy Hogan's got this pistol piece here, which is one you don't see all the time, but it's a nice little mold. He's wearing a black suit, white shirt, black tie. Kind of a little bit messy hair. I think fairly representative of the character. Kind of a neutral expression on his face here. No side printing on either one of these. Happy's got just a little bit of detailing on the back here, and then a much more smiling face here in the back. And then underneath the cape here, Mysterio has some more of that printing for his uniform with some gold and the pink and then some black lines just to form up a little bit more detail. There's another look there at that pistol piece for Happy. Those are our 4 minifigures for this set. Let's go back and I'll give you my final thoughts on the set. This is my favorite Far From Home based set. As I've said probably several times, that I think the aircraft looks really good, and I think it's very accurate to the one we see in the movie. As I pointed out, a couple of these minifigures, Nick Fury and Happy Hogan, are unique to this series. So they're exclusive figures for this particular set, which are both nice to get. This Spider-Man I've seen in some other 2020 sets. He's coming out with this same look, which I think is a good look for Spider-Man with the darker blue as opposed to the lighter blue that he used to have. I mentioned the drones in the beginning. I think they look pretty good. I like all of the different accessories with the use of the binocular pieces, and some other pieces make it look like it's got an awful lot of projectors and cameras and lights or whatever you want to imagine them. And then it's got a couple of stud shooters on each one. I think my only real complaint or real criticism of the drones is the fact that I think they were white and silver in the movie and not black. Maybe because the jet is so white that they didn't want to have the drones be white as well, so you wouldn't get any contrast. As far as value goes, there's 500 pieces for $70, which seems a little high, but you get that with a lot of the themed sets. The 10 cent per piece is kind of a good gauge to start on, but then you kind of have to take a look at what else comes with the set. As far as playability and look, I think it's a very good looking set. I think it'll display well. I think it's built solidly enough that it makes for a really nice play piece. As I mentioned, there's a lot of interior space, so that's great. You can cram a bunch of minifigures in there, which makes it even more playable, in my opinion. So it probably is a little bit expensive. Maybe this would be a better set at, like, say, a $55 or $60 price point. But overall, I think you do get a lot of value with this set and a couple of exclusive minifigures. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this Spider-Man set. I'm going to get going on my next video. Until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe to my channel to see more of my content. I've left a link to my other Marvel superheroes reviews up here on the screen.